how did having children change your marriage?
Oh, well, first of all, again, like how we talked about marriage, like this fantasy and all of that stuff. The first thing we had conversations prior to getting married, and we knew that we wanted kids. We both had agreed that we wanted 6 kids. We initially both agreed.
We definitely agreed.
Okay.
We wanted 6
all right.
kids.
Okay. Just settle down. All right. Okay. We'll get to
3.
because you got some stuff you want to get out. We'll get there.
3.
Okay. We both agreed that we want to have 6 kids. We also agreed that we wanted to experience more of us in marriage. So we took that time out. Like we did trips. We were, y'all don't even know. We were traveling. We were performing. We were working with, because we were doing spoken word poetry together. Mm-hmm. And we'll talk about that more. But we're traveling with, what was the foster care youth, AMP?
Yes.
The AMP program.
Gosh, I completely forgot about
traveled with colleges. Like people were having us come all over and perform.
Texas, Jersey,
Nacogdoches, Texas, with my man Terry Frazier.
We went out to Jersey and did some stuff.
Yes, like we're traveling
Chicago,
everywhere. We're on stages, we're performing. It was exciting. And then at some point we're like, man, let's start to build a family. And to have kids, it's an exciting part, but for us, it started to be like, don't even bring it up. Mm-hmm. I don't even want to talk about it because
it was, so kids, that was the word that came in my head, was pressure.
Yeah, for sure.
Pressure at all points of the process. Pressure when we are 3 years into marriage, we've done a lot together and we're like, okay, we think we're ready. And every time we take a pregnancy test because we think this is the time, there's no, like it's a negative.
Yeah.
Like that was a huge and heavy sadness and pressure. I wasn't on birth control, so, whatever.
So what's going on?
Right. And it was like, we ended up, so with the first baby, we had a poetry show, and we went to this poetry show at I don't even remember the name of the group. It doesn't matter. I can't think of it right now, but I know it's what I did, and I can't even think of it what I did in high school. But anyway, we went about an hour away from where we lived. We did a poetry show with them. And then on the way home, I say, man, I have gained a lot of weight. Like, I couldn't keep my breath. I kept losing my breath. And he was like, yeah, me too. I said, yeah, maybe I'm pregnant.
Science Bound. Was it
Science Bound.
Yeah. Was it Science Bound program? Yeah.
Yes.
Was it them?
Upward Bound.
Upward Bound. Yeah.
Upward Bound. There we go.
Upward Bound.
Yes,
Upward
yes.
Bound. Yeah.
Upward Bound. I did
Trio
Science
with
Bound
the Trio
too.
program. Yeah, for sure.
But I didn't say I thought I was pregnant because I actually thought I was pregnant.
Yeah.
The sadness of having all of these negatives and this mental, gymnastics that happens, I was actually saying, I think I'm pregnant, thinking I wasn't, and thinking that if I went and took a test and it was negative, all of a sudden things would go back to normal.
Right.
I would
we experienced that where there were sometimes your period would come late and we're like, oh,
we might be pregnant.
Ooh, and
we take a test.
As soon as you take the test, it's like, we on the period, and we learned that your body will react and to
respond.
That stress and that pressure. Yeah,
absolutely. So when I said that, it was like, you think so? And I was like, no, not for real. But I'm gonna go get this test and I'm gonna do this. And
but even prior to that, remember
you had gotten a call.
You had gotten a gift. Call to say, hey, I just want to tell you Happy Father's Day. And I'm like, I'm not a father.
From a friend who was a father who had like one kid at the time.
Exactly. And then I got a card on Father's Day as well to say Happy Father's Day. And I'm like,
same summer.
Why everybody sending me this?
Right. And he was like, I'm not a father. And that friend was my best friend. So I'm like, why is she? She's like, I'm manifesting it into existence. Like, this is what it is.
It's crazy.
And so I went to the store, I grabbed a test, and he says, are you gonna take the test? I said, yes. Now, mind you, we were driving home at like midnight. That's first of all. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take the test, but it's under one stipulation. When I take this test, I don't care what the outcome is.
She knows
I'm going to bed.
She knows me.
And he was like, all right, I agree. I was like, okay.
I'm taking 10.
I was like, okay, cool. I go to the bathroom, I take the test. The test comes back positive. And I'm like, that's interesting. I sit it on the back of the toilet. He comes, I go into the room. He's like, what did it say? It said positive. And I got into bed, I put my bonnet on, and I went to sleep. What? We got to take more tests. Nope, we had an agreement. I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Wake up in the morning.
I'm like, babe, go get more tests, run them. She takes like 3 tests. They all come out positive.
We had 5 tests.
I
made me take 4.
Oh, you took 4 of them?
Yes.
And then I was like, let me take the last one. Because
all 4 came out positive.
I felt like these tests are defective. Is that the word? Defective?
You said,
yes.
I want to make sure we won't have no false positives.
Yes.
If it says I got a baby, then it ain't working.
Then it ain't working for real. We take the test and it's positive again. And I'm just like.
Not your test was
I'm sorry.
positive.
I'm sorry, negative. All right. So calm down. Y'all calm down. Okay. Anyway, so it's negative and I'm like, wait, okay. I still didn't let myself celebrate. So I was like, nah, babe.
It's in the blood.
It's in the blood, man. It's covered in the blood. We gotta go to the doctor and we gotta go. I said, it's all healed under the blood. We gotta know the truth from the blood, okay?
It's the middle of my day. I'm supposed to be at work. I go to the doctor to get this pregnancy test, and then I go back to work on my lunch break.
And they call
him.
And the lady was like, yep, sir. So what we have to understand is it did come back positive. And here's the thing. I said, ma'am, did you say positive? She was like, yes, sir. I said, none of this other stuff that you're saying means nothing to me, okay? Call my wife with all of that. Thank you. I appreciate you. And I just remember the feeling of.
You called me at work and was like, man, it's positive. And so I was super excited.
Like, oh my God, I'm gonna be a dad.
Super excited. So then you have the pressure of, oh God, a baby is coming.
Yeah, I know. And I was excited. And honestly, you know, most people want a boy first. I really wanted to have a daughter first. So when I learned that we were having a girl, I was like, man, I was so excited. And I just remember just the feeling of like excitement of wanting to be a great father, but also like the fear of, well, how do I be a great father? But I know how my father was and all of that. And now our daughter is, you know, she's phenomenal. You know, I think she's very responsible. She's, you know, I look at her and I'm like, that's my dog right there. You know? So it was definitely a great experience. She was feisty.
Very much so.
Younger, you know, she even dictated when she wanted to come out.
Look, had a whole birth plan, a whole thing set up.
Yeah. Got
pre-eclampsia and she came prematurely.
Yeah, she came prematurely.
And didn't spend any time in the NICU. Like from the time that she was born, they're like, she's gonna have to go in the NICU if this happens or if that happens. None of it happened. She was a fighter from the very jump and was like, nah, I'm going home with my mama and daddy. So
yeah, it was perfect. And I just, the only other thing I remember is when they finally said, okay, you all are ready to go. And I'm like, wait, go home?
With this baby?
With the baby? I said, like, who coming with us? Yeah, so that whole thing was just phenomenal. As far as the second baby now, because again, we wanted to have 6. I'm telling you all now, after you
notice he said that like twice now. We wanted to have 6.
After my daughter, I was pretty much like, okay, well, you know, let's go again. And then this time, we kind of ran into the same situation. We still weren't taking any type of precaution, so if it did happen, it would happen. Yeah. But now it's like, okay, why is it not happening? So this time we actually went to doctors and saw that there were some things on our part that we needed to change, or that I needed to change with my diet and things like that. We did end up doing
artificial insemination.
Is that what it was called? So I had a feeling, I felt the way about doing that, because I was like, I want the experience of, you know, like what we had and all of that stuff. And they were like, you got to bring this brown paper bag. And I'm like, what?
It was definitely like uncomfortable parts, I think, for you, like with having to bring your sample in. They had to check it. And then once we decided we were going to do it, you're bringing the sample in so that then I can come in and they can fertilize, or not necessarily fertilize the egg, but they were trying to, like they were giving me good semen that would actually work, right?
Yeah.
But the thing about it was, I mean, I was tracking all of my ovulation and everything like that. And so because we are still sexually active and we're doing this process, you never know what actually happened for the conception.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So when we got pregnant, even though he didn't like it, yes, there was a lot of like uncomfortable things ahead of time.
They took my sperm and put it inside her, and then they were like, all right, I gotta go home and have sex, and then you need to have sex again.
We had a whole like
48 hours. Now you gotta have this app. And the app says, okay, you gotta go now and all of these things. And then I'm like, that's not an experience.
Right. And so when we got pregnant with our second,
I didn't care.
Well, I did like the fact with that process is that we found out way sooner.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I was going in often to get tested and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We found out super early that we were pregnant. I want to say like maybe a week, 2 weeks.
Yeah, for sure.
Of being pregnant.
Yeah.
We found out, was like, oh shoot, like this is really cool. Found out it was a boy. This man, so he talked about how much.
Before you get there, Before you get there, I just want to say that just in case somebody is thinking about doing it and you have these same type of reservations, when they told us we were pregnant, none of the stuff that I was concerned about mattered.
Absolutely.
I did not care anymore about the experience. I was excited to have the experience.
Absolutely. Now y'all just heard him talk about how our daughter is his dog and he was so excited for his girl and all of that, right? So we are having the ultrasound for the second baby. I didn't want to know the sex. I was like, I don't want to know. Like, I wanted the whole surprise process. He's like, no. I gotta know, because if it's a girl, I gotta prepare myself. That don't sound like somebody who's excited for his girl. Okay.
Not another one.
Not another one. He said, if it's a girl, I got to prepare myself. We did the ultrasound. The woman comes back. It's a boy. When I tell you, tears of joy.
Oh, I cried.
Tears of joy,
in the
excitement.
ultrasound. And I just remember kissing you and just like, oh my God. Like,
yes.
Dang, I'm having a son. I'm gonna have a son. And
so people keep asking me to do a black boy poem. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. That's really not my style, and plus they're oversaturated. Well, that was until I brought a black boy home. I've never been so excited and afraid at the same time. So for the last 9 months, I've been blowing my lungs into different capsules, just in case they try to steal his breath, I can give him mine. I mean, my prayers ain't even the same. I'm not praying like, God, please allow him to have a good life and be happy and find a wife. No, I'm praying like, God, please don't let them take my boy away. And I want to coddle him, but I ain't got time to be soft, so I'm praying like, God, please don't let me take the boy away. I mean, you should hear the conversations I got to have with my son at 18 months. Like, son, sit up, stop drooling. Let me teach you how to survive in a world where you have black boy hunters. Never wear dark colors, it makes your melanin more aggressive. Never hang out with more than one of your black friends. I just don't want them to think you're a gang. If you ever get pulled over at night, turn on all your interior lights, put your hands on the steering wheel, and announce every movement like you're commentating a basketball game. And son, when you leave my home, you can only have one action, one emotion. That's smile and be happy. You can't be sad or irritated or angry, because those are the type of emotions that get you killed. And it's a shame I gotta have this conversation with my son, but what else do I tell him when he's being raised in a world where they got black boy hunters, they're playing black boy hunger games, they want just my black boy back under change, and I'm just hungry for change. And then I remember everything that I just told him, and the beast comes out, and I say, forget everything that I just told you. They want to hold you to the law, then you hold them to a tool. They'll try to steal your voice and hide it in their culture, but don't you go searching for it, because it's still inside of you. They can't steal something I put inside of you. Son, never let them lie to you. Never let them lie to you. Never fall in love with the woman that wants to hide you. And you tell them, if they want your talent, then they better accept your black pride too. Son, do you know that when you were born, you cried and I cried too? But mine weren't tears of joy. It was frustration, because I couldn't figure out how I was gonna put a mall, a museum, and a school in the backyard, so I never had to take eyes off you. I just want eyes off you, because I know there are black boy hunters in this world that just wanna off you. And the only thing I can offer you is safety. People keep asking me to do a black boy poem. and I've rejected. Because like black boys been killed in America, and this poem, I don't know how to end it. Worse.
The level of excitement, but then you also spoke about the fear of
Absolutely.
it, because
this was 2016 in America.
Yeah.
And so
when Trump is president.
He was running for president.
Oh, running, yeah. And just there was a lot of hatred towards black boys. And I actually ended up writing a poem about it. But I know there was a level of fear in you that was just like, man, I'm bringing a black boy in here. So
yeah, it was that situation. Before even getting to that, though, I just want to say his delivery and everything was perfect.
Oh, it was good.
Like everything was good. I was able to carry him to term.
Yeah.
We were able to do everything that we had in our plan. I was able to deliver naturally without drugs. Like all of it was good. Versus my daughter.
Even though I had to check the nurse. Okay. So we had a whole plan on this is what we want, this is our expectation, all of these things. And the nurse said a couple times, oh, so you sure you want an epidural?
Epidural,
and I said, ma'am.
Don't bring that up again.
That's in our plan. Do not bring that up again. Like,
absolutely.
Let's be clear, okay?
And this is in contrast to our daughter, who I was induced and I had an epidural, and it was a lot.
Yeah.
And so, but after having my son in the state of 2016 of where we were for black people, I finally said, okay, I don't want to have any more kids. I met him because
I jumped on that
because remember we agreed to have 6. He was after 1 was like, I don't really need no more.
I was like,
I'm like, but you said, like, we came to an agreement on this ahead of time, and so whatever. But I had my son. I was like, okay, I don't want to have any more kids. Got rid of everything. All I had was a baby bed and a stroller.
Yes, and so in here, I'm like, man, I'm about to go get this little snip. Let's go get the
vasectomy.
Vasectomy. Let's. And so there's a part, we're out to dinner with friends and with our friends, Rashard and Dave, and they have, at this point, they have 3?
They have 4.
4? Okay, they were just...
No, they had 3.
They were just like rabbits out here, okay? So we're talking and we're like, man, we're done. Rashard's talking about he's getting the vasectomy. I'm like, I'm about to get it. And then we're talking about, man, what if we got pregnant and all this stuff and all this stuff. This man, a week later, is pregnant. Well, I mean, his wife is pregnant. And I'm like, that's crazy, bro. I'm like, man, praise God for y'all. God is like, man, God is doing a thing in y'all and all of this stuff. And I'm speaking it to their marriage and all that stuff. And he's miserable. He was like, bro, what are we doing? All of this stuff. And so I said, whew, hey, babe, I'm about to go get this.
Right. He come home and say, baby, they're pregnant. I was like, dang, okay. Like,
I'm about to go get this vasectomy now. And this girl turns up pregnant.
Yeah.
She's pregnant at the same time.
It was a week later. Yeah. I said to him, I was like, let me tell you why I think I'm pregnant.
I said, I was so furious.
Like you didn't play a part in creating that.
This is some poverty type stuff right here. Just sitting around just baby after baby after baby. Like, you don't got nothing else to do. Just
4 years apart each.
Babies.
But it's babies after babies.
Just like, my God. So, so we end up where we are pregnant. I did go get that vasectomy after that.
Yes,
so we won't be here again. And from there, that pregnancy was okay, but let me tell y'all, we get to a point where this is a big boy, okay? He's in there, he's big. We go to the doctor and they're like, okay, hey, we gotta do a
C-section.
C-section, which is the one thing she said she did not want. So they tell us we gotta get a C-section. I immediately am like, all right, I need everybody out. I just need to talk to my wife.
Let me insert that they misdiagnosed me, like misdated me.
Yeah, for sure.
So I had a date according to the app on my phone. When they did the ultrasound, they came up with a different date. And so the entire pregnancy, we went by their date, but then every time they did an ultrasound, they're like, oh, but you're showing 2 weeks earlier,
Yeah, for sure.
which was what my app said.
Yeah.
And I started labor the day that my app said that I should have a baby. However, my body didn't respond the same way and it didn't progress naturally. So I was literally in active labor for 21 days.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I had 3 weeks of contractions, running to the hospital. Nope, you didn't dilate.
Yeah.
And they just kept saying, well, you're not due yet anyway, so it's normal. This is fine.
Correct. And then was it like the placenta was stopping?
Yeah, so I, after 21 days, was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. I told my midwife, I'm going to take some stuff to induce labor.
Right.
So I did different things like teas and pineapple and all that stuff. And then I said, I'm taking this castor oil. And she was like, okay, keep me on call, all that, whatever. That did the trick. Threw me into labor. I went to the hospital. They were going to send me home again because I was only dilated to 6.
Yeah, for sure.
And then they said, but let me put you on the monitor to make sure the baby's responding fine. And when they did that, they realized he was not responding fine. Every contraction, he was not getting oxygen because the placenta had started to break down. And so, in essence, I was misdated. Like, he was in there too long.
Hey, we need to get a C-section and get the baby out now. And they're like, sign this. I'm like, hold on. I'm gonna need y'all to leave. And they just stand around like, no, I'm gonna need everybody in this room to leave while I have a conversation with my wife. And this girl,
I knew you was about to go there.
the first thing she says, I forget what was the percentage. I'm gonna just make up a percentage. But she says, babe, do you know 80% of all black women that do a C-section die? I'm like, babe.
It wasn't 80, but I'm pretty sure it was like 70 or 75. And he says, so babe, how you feeling? I feel like 75% of black women who have C-sections die. I feel like this was not a part of my plan and I don't want to be here right now. I feel like I'm about to die.
I said, oh my goodness.
Absolutely. This is how I'm feeling. You want the real?
And again, we prayed and I was like, okay, well, we got to do this. I got you or whatever. I even hit Shard up and Shard came and just sat in the hospital.
Yeah.
But we did it and it worked out. And
my baby was born 10 pounds.
And it's beautiful. They let me pull him out and everything. And because this was the one birth, we didn't know we were having another boy.
I finally got my wish of not knowing
so we didn't
gender.
know until the day of. And then he comes out. And everything was perfect. It just went smooth. So it was a huge blessing. So how has babies changed the marriage? I think it just created more experiences for us that we could navigate together, and it just advanced our journey, or just put us on a different journey.
But it definitely created pressure.
Oh, for sure. Even now,
every season, different levels, it creates pressure.
There's a new pressure of wanting to protect them and provide for them, and trying to I want to give you different experiences and trying. I don't want
catering to you too much. You live in a suburban life, so you don't understand how to survive on your own.
Yes.
We grew up in the hood. Like, come on, let's do this together.
All of those things. But I think what is the great thing is, baby makes sure is that as a family we have the most amazing experiences. Without that, I would not, if it was just left up to me, we would probably go out to dinner. We'll go to movies. We'll be around the house, and we'll
go to church.
We'll go to church. And we'll go to some parks and we'll play sports.
Yeah.
But you definitely bring a completely different type of experience where we're doing camping and we're going on family trips and with the itinerary. So we were going to Puerto Rico for 2 weeks and we went to Dubai for 3 weeks, and we're going to
we've done everything. Florida, Arizona,
and we're going she don't just go anywhere for 3 days. It's we're going for
you need to
2 weeks,
experience
3
the
weeks,
places that you're going.
month, all of those things. But all of those, every time, and sometimes I'll be fighting them, and I'm just
Most
like,
times he fights. Just so
you know, but every time is such a great experience, even down to the pictures that family photos. I probably wouldn't have done those, but we have family photos. We do the pajamas and all that stuff. We still wrap gifts on Christmas, even though I'm like, man, if you don't just hand them that mess and that's gone about our business. So I think that's a huge compliment. So kids are great.